Arjun was a smart boy living in a small village. He was always praised for his intelligence and quick learning ability. However, Arjun had a bad habit: wasting time. Instead of focusing on his studies, he often played with his friends, played games on his phone, and engaged in idle chats. Although his parents had repeatedly reminded him of the importance of time, Arjun failed to understand its value. He always thought there was plenty of time to do everything, and life should be enjoyed in the present moment. One day, the results of the final exams were announced, and Arjun received a very poor score, far lower than the expectations of his teachers and family. His teachers, who had previously praised him, were now disappointed. His friends also started avoiding him. When he returned home, he saw the disappointed faces of his parents as they looked at his report card. Arjun felt angry and sad about himself, but he didn't know where to start to make a change. That night, Arjun went to seek advice from his grandfather, a wise man in the village. His grandfather told him a story about a king named Vikram. Although King Vikram had all the power and wealth, he wasted his time on meaningless things. When he realized his wastefulness, it was too late, and everything he had could not reverse the time that had passed. After hearing the story, Arjun realized the value of time and made a firm decision to change his life. The results of the final exam had already been announced, and Arjun realized that he hadn't achieved the expected results. He felt disappointed and sad when he saw his scores far lower than his teachers' and parents' expectations. The teachers who once praised him for his intelligence now seemed disappointed. His friends gradually distanced themselves, no longer maintaining the close relationship they once had. The feeling of loneliness and failure overwhelmed Arjun as he realized that he had not only disappointed others, but also himself. When Arjun returned home, he saw the clear disappointment in his parents' eyes as they looked at his report card. Although he tried to hide his sadness, it was impossible to ignore the disappointment they felt. Arjun felt angry at himself and seemed unsure of how to change this situation. He wondered why this had happened, even though he was a good student and could have done better. But after everything, he couldn't deny that wasting time had led to this outcome. That night, in a state of confusion and uncertainty, Arjun went to his grandfather, whom he deeply respected for his wisdom and insight. He shared all his concerns and disappointment about the exam results with his grandfather. Arjun's grandfather listened patiently and then told him a story to help him understand the value of time. He spoke of a king named Vikram, who, despite having everything in his hands, power, wealth, and a mighty kingdom, had a habit of wasting time on pointless activities. The king would wake up late, spend time playing with his friends instead of focusing on his royal duties, and procrastinate with the excuse of, "I can do it tomorrow." Despite having all the valuable things, his habit of wasting time gradually weakened his kingdom. All that he had could not save him when he realized his mistake. After hearing the story, Arjun woke up and realized that he had wasted his time unnecessarily all this time. He understood that, like the king in the story, if he did not value time, all his talents and opportunities would become meaningless. He asked his grandfather if he could change, and his grandfather smiled and replied that if Arjun started from that day, he could definitely change his life and achieve success. After hearing the story about King Vikram, Arjun began to reflect deeply on what his grandfather had said. He realized that he had taken time for granted, just like King Vikram in the story. He had allowed himself to waste time on things like playing games, idle chatting, and not focusing on his studies. Every time his parents reminded him about studying, Arjun thought he could do it later, that there was still plenty of time and no need to rush. But now, after hearing the story about the king who lost everything due to wasting time, Arjun realized that time could not be bought back. It was like a flowing river. Once it passed, it would never return. Arjun felt deeply regretful for the days he had let slip by without doing anything meaningful. But the important thing was that he knew there was still a chance to change, and he could start anew right away. He turned to his grandfather and asked, "Grandfather, can I change? Can I use my time wisely so that I will never regret it again?" His grandfather smiled, gently patted Arjun on the shoulder, and said, "My child, time never stops. it always moves forward. If you start using your time wisely from today, you will see results soon. Don't let unimportant things take away your time. Do meaningful things now, and don't procrastinate. Arjun listened to his grandfather's advice and made a firm decision to change his life. He began to set a reasonable daily schedule, allocating time for studying, exercising, and resting. Every day, Arjun woke up earlier so that he could dedicate more time to studying, and he no longer allowed distractions like games or idle conversations to interfere. Instead of wasting time, he focused on important tasks and used his time more effectively. In just a short time, Arjun began to see results. In the next exam, he topped the class, overcoming his previous struggles and proving that when one values time, they can achieve outstanding success. Arjun not only changed his way of life, but also became an inspiration to those around him, showing that using time wisely is the key to success. Since realizing the value of time, Arjun was determined to change his habits. He understood that time is a valuable resource that cannot be regained once lost, so he began using every day more meaningfully. After receiving advice from his grandfather, Arjun created a detailed plan to organize his work and studies, helping him focus on what matters most in life. He started waking up earlier each day to allocate time for studying and completing homework that he had previously procrastinated on. Instead of spending time on video games or unnecessary conversations, Arjun focused on studying, reading books, and self-improvement. He also planned his mornings, afternoons, and evenings so that they fit with activities like studying, relaxation, and rest. He didn't let any distractions interfere with his focus and made sure not to leave tasks for the next day. Initially, these changes were not easy. Arjun found that he needed to be more persistent, and at times he still felt the allure of old habits, like playing games or hanging out with friends. However, with determination and support from his grandfather, Arjun gradually realized that managing his time well made him feel more comfortable and confident. He was able to work more effectively and had time for the things he truly enjoyed without feeling guilty. When the next exam came, Arjun was well prepared. He completed the exam confidently, realizing that the hours of diligent study had paid off. When the results were announced, Arjun topped the class, a feat he had never achieved before. Not only in academics, but Arjun also felt that this change positively impacted his daily life. He felt more mature, responsible, and satisfied with the hard work he had put in. In the end, Arjun not only improved his academic performance, but also became a shining example for his friends and those around him. He proved that valuing and using time wisely is the key to achieving success, not just in school, but in life as well.